Hey guys, welcome back to Rough Riders. Time for another maintenance operation on the Acura. The car just gave me a maintenance minder for that through code B1, which means doing an oil change, along with just doing a bunch of inspection stuff, the brakes, the emergency brake, and the fuel lines, and all that kind of stuff, tie rods. So we're going to go ahead and start with the oil change and get that done, and we'll walk through that process. So let's take a look at the tools you need for this job and get started. Okay, to complete this job, you're going to need your oil and oil filter, obviously. You're going to need a 17mm socket and a socket wrench. You're going to need a torque wrench as well, capable of doing about 35 foot-pounds. You're going to need your drain pan. You're going to need an oil filter wrench, as well as a funnel to fill the oil, new crush washers for the bolt, and some paper towels. If you're removing the wheel as well, then you will need a couple of jack stands and a jack and your lug wrench, and that's pretty much what you need in order to do this job. So part of the B1 maintenance is rotating the tire. So we're going to go ahead and do that at the same time that we're doing all this, in part because the oil filter is kind of tucked on the right hand side of the engine bay behind the front right tire. So pulling that tire makes it a little bit easier. You don't have to, because you can do all this from underneath. But since I got to rotate the tires anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and do it all at once. So one of the things I always do whenever I'm working on the car and I pull a tire and I know I'm going to be going underneath it, or even if I'm not, I always just tuck the tire underneath the side of the car. So that way, if the car ever fell off its jack stands or the jack, it'll fall onto the tire and not onto me or onto the ground and damage the components even worse. So just a little safety tip there. Okay, so looking towards the rear of the vehicle, here's your oil pan, and then here's your drain drain bolt, and that's a 17mm. So we're going to break that free right now, and I got my oil pan underneath here, so I'm ready to go. Inspect this bolt. We'll replace the crush washer, and we'll clean everything up, and we'll let that finish draining. Okay, so now you can see right here I've got easy access to the oil filter. Again, I could have accessed that from underneath, but since I was doing the tire rotation, it just made sense to get it all here. So we'll pull that off next. So as the oil is finishing draining, I'm going to go ahead and pop off the oil filter as well. I'm going to arrange my oil pan so that way it'll catch any oil that comes out of the filter. But I've got a cap right here that I'm going to use for the filter wrench, and just pop that loose. Okay, with the oil filter off, I'm going to inspect the surface, make sure there's no pitting. When that the gasket's gone, I'm going to inspect the threads, and then we're going to put the new oil filter on. I did put a little bit of fresh oil on the filter on the gasket, so that way it'll spin on there as we put it on. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to go just until it seats, and then 3/4 turn. Okay, so there, and then we're going to go 3/4 turn, so we're going to kind of take a look at where this label is, and so it should be just about the other side, so between halfway and 3/4. So we're going to grab our wrench, and this filter's taller, so this wrench isn't going to work. So we're going to just have to do this by hand. And that should be about good right there. and then we'll put the bolt back in as well as the crush washer, and then we'll start filling it up. It's a little hard to see here, but I've got a little funnel right into the oil port. I did pull the shroud off so I could get to it a little bit easier, but we're going to go ahead and start popping the oil in there now, and it should take, according to the manual, 5.4 quarts. So we're going to start filling that up now. Okay, with the oil filled up and to the correct level, and everything tightened down, all the bolts and oil filter and everything, we're ready to just drop this thing off the jack stands and call it a day. So again, I took the tire off only because I was rotating tires at the same time. I didn't need to do that. Everything's accessible from underneath. So it's up to you whether you want to take that step. But everything's done and we're ready to hit the road. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It does help me build my channel and continue to bring you more content. And if you have any comments or tips or anything like that, leave those as well. Love to hear from you guys. And we'll see you next time.